Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I'm just doing some brainstorming. I say, I'm down here by myself. I can't talk to anybody, so I just got to brainstorm by myself. And I was thinking, one thing, I've been to a lawyer today, and one thing I realized, the judicial system sucks, along with the medical system and government and bureaucrats. They all suck. It seems to me all of them prey on the weak, the sick, and the stupid. I've made videos talking about how I think about the medical system. The only good thing about them is the emergencies. They are really good on emergencies. The government, I think I've made videos on government bureaucrats and how they're leeches to our society. They create their own jobs. All of them do. The judicial, the medical, and all government stuff. They all create their own jobs. In other words, they create problems, and they want to be there to solve the problem. So to me, I look at those. Oh man, I even hate to use the word profession, but I don't see why people want to get involved with those type of people. In other words, I was in the oil business, and that was when I first got involved with lawyers. This was back when I was 30 years old. I had oil wells, oil production, and I needed lawyers to help do the paperwork, get stuff squared away and stuff like that. And then it was funny because I had people that owed me money, and I tried to sue them or try to use the legal system. And it's funny because my lawyer made the contract with these people, and they were still able to get out of the contract. And I'm thinking, how does the lawyers help me on this? How does the legal system help me on this type of stuff? So to me, it's back to what I say, the medical, it's emergencies. That's the only thing they're good for. Okay, the same thing with the legal system. The legal system, I really don't know what they're good for. It may be, now one thing I've realized, you have criminals. At one time I was going to be a peace officer back in the 70s. And we were profiling and checking people out. And what you learn trying to be a peace officer is you're learning how to profile, how to pick out bad people and the good people. The good people, you leave them alone. They're just hard-working citizens trying to do the best they can in the life that they are given. And then the criminals is a mentality. I mean, it is the kind of person this is. Sometimes when they're young enough, you can catch them, and if you can do things right, or sometimes something will click, and that criminal mentality will just get out of them, and then they want to be good. I'm kind of like that. I don't know about criminal would be the right thing, but I know when I was a kid, where I lived up north, Topeka, matter of fact, and they wanted to brand me as a criminal. And ornery I was. And my dad sent me south. And I got south, and not only the law enforcement, or not law enforcement, but the peace officers, but other, I always call them grumpy old men, they would whack me upside the head whenever I did something stupid, and they just called me ornery. And every time that happened, it kind of jarred a little something loose in me and made me realize that taking personal responsibility is what I had to do. And then once I take personal responsibility, then I didn't have all those problems. So I think the judicial system is messed up because they're not looking to see who's, let me see how to say this. Well, for one thing, if you are a morally strong person, you look at many events in life in black and white. It's either right or it's wrong. Now, the lawyers, that's what I find funny. The lawyers go out of their way to make things gray. That's all they have to do is make things gray. And what happens? When it's gray, then you're confused. Another thing I've learned, I get confused, somebody's going to screw me. So it doesn't make any difference if it's medical, judicial, or government. Government comes up with all these regulations. A lot of them contradict other regulations. It makes it confusing. Why? Because you're going to get screwed. So the legal system does the same thing. The lawyers. It's funny because I associate with all kinds of riffraff. Good, bad, and the ugly. And I was having dinner with some lawyers, and there was a judge there. And the judge tries to keep his, neutral. So no big deal. And then, but he could hear, I talk loudly. And he could hear me talking about how lawyers suck. Lawyers are leeches to society. Lawyers screw things up. And then they point out to me, to the judge. I explained all this about making the things gray and screwing people out of money, preying off the weak and scared people. And so they pointed out the judge to me. The judge was a lawyer. And so I came back with him and said, yeah, you're right. The judge was a lawyer. So the judge knows exactly what I'm talking about. The judge knows that you parasites are just trying to make things gray. And when you come to the court and you are in front of the judge, he doesn't want to see this gray shit. He wants to see black and white. He wants to see facts. And you start putting the gray out, then the judge gets irritable. I looked at the judge smiled. Once you're a judge, you look at things black and white, right and wrong. The judge has to separate all the gray and find the facts and makes decisions from that. Good judges. I don't know, maybe some judges think they're still a lawyer or something, I don't know. But I've been real fortunate in the judicial system once I'm faced with a judge. Common sense and facts. Taking personal responsibility and standing morally strong has got me through many courtrooms. But you got to remember, these systems are not set up for you and I, other than we are to be the victims. Medical, judicial, and government. They've got the upper hand. They use each other to keep the upper hand. None of them could stand alone, because they all do bad things. Corruption is so bad. I don't know how we're going to handle it. That's why you hear me talk about the three-man militia. Three-man militia takes responsibility, personal responsibility. You take personal responsibility over you, your family, your friends, and your local community. With the three-man militia, and done well, you can avoid many times of having to deal with the corruption that surrounds us. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.